It's time to open up the weekend series of Zero Racing for the 4th season. This is, of course, the very Z4-centric series that we're running. And let's have a look at the grid. There's no standings to run down because this is the opener. So on pole position, we have Alessio de Bonis representing Team Spalding RT. On the front row with him is Team Shoshma's Wesley Stokes. Then it's John Slow Racing's Ben Schwari. Matt Wheeler, the independent in a Corvette, will start from P4. P5 will be Team Shoshma's Rick Martel. Golden Bolt Racing's Mike Magasevic is P6. P7, Dean Reimers, his teammate. And then another independent in the McLaren 650S, Alan Angel. Mark Klabzul for Spalding RT. And Dave Collins for John Slow Racing round off the 10-car grid. Bit of a small grid for this round, but hopefully it'll get bigger in the future. Let's kick this off. Now watch from the second row of the grid. The Corvette of Matt Wheeler has been fantastic off the starts for a long time. De Bonis has a bad start. And yep, there goes the red Corvette. Matt Wheeler spreading right into the lead at turn 1. De Bonis is going to slap in second. Another guy who got a very good start there is Mike Magasevic, who's in P6 with Wesley Stokes, P3. Ben Schwari has been swallowed up a little bit off a not-so-great start. He's back down to 5th. And Mark Klabzul also coming through the field up to 6th place. Then it looks like it's Rick Martel in 7th. And then the field will be rounded off by some combination of Alan Angel, Dave Collins, and Dean Reimers. Matt Wheeler having a bit of a problem there. He's going to slip behind both the Z4s of De Bonis and Stokes. We move up to the front. Magasevic is still P4, holding off Ben Schwari, but I think we're going to get some action here. Schwari is looking down the inside of him. They're side by side. Looks like he's okay. But Schwari is going to take the spot. P4 to Ben Schwari. Then it's Martel, Klabzul, Reimers. We seem to have lost Collins and Angel off the back of the pack. They're quite a ways behind. Alessio de Bonis has hit the front. The pole sitter is back in the lead after taking it back from Matt Wheeler. He is trailed by Wes Stokes, Matt Wheeler, and Ben Schwari. Then it's Magasevic, Martel, Klabzul, Reimers, Collins, and Angel. Pressure's on Magasevic as Martel's getting closer. Looking to make his move. Martel having a problem there, and that's going to let Klabzul... Oh! That was not the cleanest of driving from Rick Martel, I don't think, unless it was a curb-assisted move. Let's have a look here. He's trailing Mike Magasevic, gets a little too much of the curb, and then... Yeah! I don't know what happened there. All right, let's get a better look at this. We're going inside the car of Rick Martel. Looks like he just collects the wall a little bit and ends up sideswiping into Mark Klabzul. And Dean Reimers says, "Thank you very much, I'll take 2 positions." So it's still De Bonis leading from Stokes, Wheeler, Schwari, Magasevic. Reimers is up to 6th, Martel 7th, Klabzul 8th. 9th for Alan Angel, who's gotten around Dave Collins at some point. Let's see what happened to Mr. Collins. Looks like maybe he just had a mess up here at the first S. Comes in. Yeah, just gets a little out of shape. A little too much curb. And through goes Angel. Bonis is under fire here on lap 4 of 13. Not a tremendous amount of pressure as of yet, though. A little surprised Ben Schwarry has not really managed to put some pressure on Matt Wheeler. Did qualify third, was very quick in the qualifying session. Just was unable to really deal with the start. Got off to a bad start and has not really improved much. He did take Magasevic for P4, but that was about it. Magasevic, of course, came up from 6th to about 3rd at the start. Martel is coming up behind Reimers. Mark Klapzul doesn't appear to be able to quite keep with it. Back at the front, we still have this battle between Spalding RT and Team Shashma. Represented in this case by Alessio Bonis and Wesley Stokes. Both of these guys, you got to feel, are pretty good championship contenders. I think Matt Wheeler's in. Holy moly! I think we 100% need to see that again. Matt Wheeler in the Corvette just gets way too much of the rumble strips and just barely avoids flipping the car. Ben Schwarry's going to start putting the pressure on now, I would hope, and look to pressure the Corvette into another mistake. And a podium. Wheeler looking to rebound after a bit of a weak season 3 in the DTM. So still finished a contender to the title down the stretch. Just didn't seem his comfortable self. And a return to this Corvette hopefully will help him with that. Schwarry has gotten the position off of Wheeler. Let's go have a look at that battle for the podium. Looks like it's just down the straightaway. It's a bit of a weird one because the Corvette has been, in theory, one of the fastest through the speed trap on that straightaway, but yeah, it just gets really wide there. And yeah, just I guess the run in just didn't do him any favors. And Ben Schwarry says, "Thank you, podium is mine." Pressure's on Dean Reimers in the battle for sixth place between him and Rick Martel. Reimers looking a lot better than he did in the weekday races, where he struggled with some consistency, had a couple of moments, couple of bad spins. Looking much better here, running in 6th. Still a pretty poor start at the beginning of the race. Yeah, Martel losing a little bit there with a bit of a mistake. Drops off the back end. And Hell is still ahead of Collins in the battle for 9th. Matt Wheeler trying to come back at Ben Schwari in the battle for the podium. Corvette on BMW action. Wheeler's still putting the pressure on, unable to find a way around. Mike Magasevic, by the way, leading the Academy Cup right now in 5th place. His gap back to Dean Reimers and Rick Martel is decreasing pretty rapidly. Matt Wheeler letting Schwari off the hook there a little bit. Mark Klapzool back in 8th place. Bit rough there in the second S from Magasevic, although Reimers ends up pretty wide, as does Martel, so not a ton lost. Alessio de Bonis still in the lead. You're on lap 7 of 13. We're getting slightly over halfway through the race. Bonis has led pretty much since taking the lead from the Corvette of Matt Wheeler, who had a fantastic start. And this battle for 5th is heating up. It's Magasevic versus Reimers versus Martel. Martel getting a little bit wide there in that last corner. This is a pair of Golden Bolt teammates. And the man coming into the picture there in the Red Bull sponsored car is Mark Klapzool, who I think is just absolutely licking his chops at the idea of maybe a little contact here in the battle for 5th. As I say that, he loses it in the corner and in the first S, and that might end his hope for a top 5 finish. Reimer's under pretty fierce pressure from Martel, but he's been holding up pretty well under it. Martel's been, I think, clearly the fastest of these 3 cars throughout this race. He was the highest qualifier, qualifying in P5. Historically a very fast car around here. Just hasn't really managed to find the pass. Martel losing it a little bit as Reimers goes through on Magasevic. See how this goes heading into corner 1. And Magasevic has the inside line and goes off and hits the side of the security, the safety barrier, I guess is what that is. But and through goes Martel, just throwing it away, not willing to give up the position, it would appear. And he drops to 7th. De Bonis is still out in front. That gap back to Wesley Stokes appears to be growing just a little bit. Don't know if there's really a comeback there. Schwari appears to be pulling away from Wheeler ever so slightly as well. Reimers is now in 5th. He's got a decent gap back to Martel. Magasevic is still in this, if he can pull off some good laps, but he's not been tremendously quick all day. Just had a really good start and was consistent and then made a big mistake there. And Dave Collins has got the pressure back on Alan and Hill in the battle for 9th place. Most interesting battle appears to be this battle for ninth between Angel and Collins. Not the most important battle on the field, but pretty much the most interesting. Although I think we may see a showdown between Martel and Reimers for 5th place before this race is over. But I would say the top 4 are pretty well decided. This might change hands here. Dean Reimers from Australia leading the Canadian Rick Martel and Canadian Mike Magasevic, who are 6th and 7th at the moment. I don't think Magasevic plays a role in this. He's a little too slow. But Martel has been consistently the faster of these two BMWs. Just hasn't managed to make a pass stick. So we'll see if he can close the gap down with the remaining 3 laps here and make a move. Reimers is also the Academy driver leader right now from Magasevic and Angel. Only 4 Academy drivers on the grid today, as opposed to the, I believe we had 6 for the weekday race, so a bit less of an intense battle. Missing Tom Waz, Dule Markovic, Adam Situ, and others. As Alessio de Bonis heads on to the final lap here at RaceRoom Bridge. Wesley Stokes in 2nd place has been pretty much glued there the whole time. Matt Wheeler made a mistake early on, dropped behind to 3rd, and that's where Stokes has been pretty much all day. Had some pace and looked like he might have a shot at a win here, but hasn't managed to keep it up. De Bonis has been smooth and very efficient, very kind to his tires, it would appear. He's still pulling away a little bit. Ben Chouari's in 3rd place. Been here for a while. Mathew Wheeler, top independent in the Corvette, is in 4th place still. And we were thinking that Dean Reimers and Rick Martel might have a bit of a showdown, but the gap appears to have stabilized, and it seems like Reimers has really found a good rhythm. He's keeping 5th place away from Martel. Magasevic is pretty well locked in 7th. Mark Labzul pretty well locked in 8th. Alan Angel was under some pressure from Dave Collins, but appears to have pulled out a little bit of a gap now. Looks like he'll be in for 9th. As, oh boy! If he wasn't, he is now. Dave Collins is on his roof. A heck of a moment there for Dave Collins. In the meantime, De Bonis has taken the win from Wesley Stokes, Ben Chouari, Matt Wheeler. Dean Reimers is going to bring it home in 5th place, a career best finish. Rick Martel is going to be 6th. Also the Academy win for Reimers. Magasevic is going to come home 7th place. 8th place, it appears we've lost Mark Labzul, so 8th place is going to go to Alan Angel. Also Angel's first career podium in the Academy class. His best finish of the season as well. And Dave Collins is going to come home in 9th because we seem to have lost the Red Bull-sponsored BMW of Spalding RT's Mark Clapp-Zuhl. We'll have to see if he can make it to the grid for race 2. That's all from RaceRoom Bridge this time around. Hope you enjoyed everything, and we'll be back with race number 2 later on. It'll be Dave Collins leading from pole if Mark Clapp-Zuhl cannot report to the grid.